Hello there, guys, gals, and people on the planet Earth, and possibly from other planets. I'm back in a Sonic discussion video. I'm not really a big fan of these formats anymore, but I keep posting something rather than going dead for every month or so. But anyway, here's a brand new discussion I just thought of, and it's a very interesting thing that I just kind of been thinking of in the back of my head, and in a way, I think it all sort of makes sense, but you guys just have to hear me out. So, exactly why is Sonic failing at this point? Sonic had two major game releases this year. One by the fans, for the fans, Sonic Mania, and one by Sonic Team, Sonic Forces. One of them was a great success, and one of them just didn't make the mark. A lot of the fans didn't appreciate it. I'm not going to state my opinions on it. I'm pretty sure I've stated it before, but at this point, we have to kind of wonder what exactly happened with Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces was supposed to be their big game. Basically, it was supposed to be like their Sonic Generations 2. Basically, a improved formula and an expansion of the boost gameplay they've been working on for several years at this point. They've had the same gameplay style for the longest time. They should know how to program the game for that. They should know how to make the best possible level design and the best possible game for that sort of gameplay. Sonic Forces had the potential to be the biggest and most ambitious Sonic boost game ever. But yet, it didn't seem to hit the mark at all. And why is that? I think it's simple. Sega listens to the fans too much. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be like, well, what do you mean they listen to the fans too much? Is that even possible? Yes, it is possible. Because at this point, Sega is just hearing people out. They're just listening to what the fans want, and sometimes it's a little hard because I feel like what they're trying to do is please everyone. They're the classic Sonic fans, modern Sonic fans, people that like the adventure games, people that like the spin-off games, Sonic and Secret Rings, Sonic and the Black Knight, all sorts of fans of different games. And Sonic has changed gameplay styles so many times that at this point, it's kind of hard to please everybody. At this point, Sonic has changed so much that there's always going to be a niche percentage of fans that like a certain aspect of a game, but another portion of the fans don't like that portion. It's kind of hit or miss when you try to please a bunch of Sonic fans nowadays because Sega just changed a lot. You know, for a while it seemed like Sonic was going to continually have a different gameplay style every single game, especially around the Dark Ages, where like Sonic 06 had kind of the adventure style, then it got switched around to Sonic and Secret Rings, then Sonic Unleashed happened. So for a while, Sonic kept evolving into different gameplay styles, and it didn't really seem like any gameplay styles sticked until the boost formula hit. You know, there was that. Sure, there were some eras of Sonic, the classic era, adventure era, and the modern era, but there were those in-between games where they kind of changed gameplay styles, changed little things here and there that some fans liked and some fans didn't like. And I think now that, Sonic Team is kind of listening to what the fans want, and now they're posting a lot of surveys in their games, maybe they might be listening to the fans a little bit too much. Because, as you know, there are people who still love the classic Sonic games, and I feel like Sega is trying to cram everything into one game. And if they're gonna listen to the fans, that's great. I love it when companies listen to the fans and try to give them something the fans really want. But the thing is, they're a little bit too ambitious in what they're trying to do with their games. They're trying to please every single possible fan in one game, and it just doesn't work that way. Sonic Generations. They tried bringing in the modern and adventure Sonic fans combined with the classic Sonic fans. And I think for the most part, reception-wise and by the fan base, by most of them, they liked it. They thought it was a rather interesting game that was alright. Me, I thought it was a little bit mediocre, but still, I could see some promise in it, and especially after Forces, I can see that this game was something, and I can see why it was rated so highly by the mainstream audience and a majority of the Sonic fans. But Sonic Forces came out and it kind of flopped. Classic Sonic was subpar, modern Sonic was subpar, Avatar was kind of disliked by a lot of people, and you kind of have to wonder what happened. You know, especially since it's the boost formula, a formula they've been making games for so long. You know, you think they would have kept evolving and improving the boost gameplay of every single game, but just for some reason, even though I'd say Generations was the highlight of the boost formula in terms of level design, it just kind of fell short. It just feels like they tried changing things but also keeping them the same at the same time. I know I'm probably not explaining this too well, but just the way how Forces is just kind of a much shorter game. It kind of feels like it took a little bit of a step backwards, kind of more to Sonic Colors, where the stages were a lot shorter. And yeah, I feel like that's kind of the case, and I think Sonic Forces kind of missed the mark with that. They kind of made the stages a little bit shorter, they kind of made them a little bit faster. In a way, it's like they try to combine the Sonic Unleashed with the Sonic Colors treatment of linear gameplay, linear levels, but very short levels at the same time, and I don't think it worked that well. And when it came to Classic Sonic, of course, you know, the fans love Classic Sonic, and you know, I was there at the Sonic anniversary party where everybody went crazy for Classic Sonic, and even I did at that point. You know, because why not? If they got the formula right in Sonic Generations, I'd only hope they had a more improved Classic Sonic in that game. They had a more improved Classic Sonic in Forces. I would have hoped they would have done that, but that didn't happen. I don't know what happened, honestly, but his physics were worse, his gameplay was worse. Overall, it just really went below the mark, and I just don't know what happened. I just think that they just tried pleasing way too many fans into Sonic Forces, and maybe that's what's gonna kind of keep affecting Sonic if Sega keeps listening to the fans so much. You can't please basically 25 years of fans in one game. It's just not possible. If you're gonna try to please the fans, maybe you should split Sonic into three different iterations of Sonic. Maybe make an adventure game and still keep the boost formula and still keep Classic Sonic, but keep them in separate games. I've seen this from time to time where Sega keeps trying to cram things in, like for example in Lost World, where, you know, Sonic has the figure 8 run again. He stands like how he does in Forces, where he's kind of standing a little bit more like Classic Sonic. The levels are a little bit more cartoony. It feels like a Classic Sonic Mario inspired kind of mix, and I just feel like that they just added that, and it just kind of clouded Sonic Forces in terms of its identity. Also, adding Classic Sonic back into Sonic Forces, a game where literally the story kind of glosses over him. Like literally he's only there. It's like they added him in at the very last minute. You know, that's what it feels like. It feels like they added Classic Sonic in at the very last minute because they knew he was successful, they knew Mania was gonna do good, they knew all that, so they decided to just shoehorn him in. My bad. But I feel like that's what happened. I feel like they tried pleasing way too many Sonic fans in one game, and it totally backfired. And I think they're gonna keep making subpar games if they keep trying to listen to all the fans and cram them all into one game. Either Sega makes a completely original idea and doesn't listen to the fans for once. Maybe they can take a little bit of positive reception from fans. Maybe they want a certain gameplay style, or at least they want to listen. At least they'll listen to the maybe adding more playable characters in. But I really don't like it when Sega tries to take entire ideas from the fan base and just make it an entire game. Especially since Sega is kind of out of the loop of what Sonic fans really want at this point. You know, when it comes to Sonic fans doing a survey, it's just a survey to them. You know, it's this or that. What did you like about this game? Did you think the price was okay? Like blah blah blah, this sort of stuff. Basic survey questions. If you ask basic survey questions, you are gonna get basic survey answers. That's just how it is. Sure, there might be a few fans who wrote an entire essay on the survey, but they're not gonna read all of that. You really think Sega's gonna listen to every single survey they put up and read every single one and listen to that? No, it's just not gonna happen. They just don't have the resources to listen to every single survey and try to be like, all right, we got to make this game, the next Sonic game, basically everything. It's just not possible, and you're going to cloud the identity of the game and cloud the identity of the Sonic brand itself if you try to do something like that. It's just common sense. I don't understand where all these Sonic fans just think that Sega doesn't listen to the fans, because they do. You know, they wanted Sonic Mania, basically. People have wanted a true classic Sonic game for forever, especially since Sonic 4 came out. It flopped. Then Sonic Generations came out. People were interested in classic Sonic again. So then Sega kind of tried to implement a little bit of classic Sonic in modern Sonic, and it just didn't seem to work. That's kind of like how it was in Lost World, where in a way they try to make Sonic a little bit more modern by adding new moves and parkour, but they also tried stepping back a little bit by making the world a whole lot more cartoony and giving Sonic a little bit more of a classic Sonic appeal, bringing back old moves. So in a way, they took one step forward, but also 2 steps back. That's just how it feels like to me. I feel like Sega is cramming every single idea into their next game, and that's just not going to work. Either they have to branch out, make 3 different identities for Sonic and keep them that way, or you just stop listening to the fans, create something original, and hope that newly original concept sticks. That's just how it's going to have to be. It's just not possible for Sega to try to please every single fan with a new release, and I hate that every single Sonic fan thinks that's going to happen. They think the next Sonic game is going to be the greatest. It's just, you have to think of this in a more realistic way. That's just how I see it. I feel like Sega is trying to listen to the fans, but they don't know who to listen to. They don't know exactly what Sonic fans want from Sonic. Sure, someone on Twitter might tweet might tweet something about how they want a certain concept in Sonic in Sonic games again, and they get 3 likes. Sure, you think Sega's gonna see that? No. You think Sega's just gonna look at your survey out of like 100,000? No. It's hard to listen and try to please all the fans, especially the fans in the Sonic community, because I'd say the fan base is rather toxic. Everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different favorite Sonic game. Everybody has a different aspect of Sonic that they love and prefer over something else. Like, let's say someone actually likes the story in Sonic games and prefers that than actual gameplay, and someone prefers just gameplay, no story. Someone prefers this, someone prefers that. There are way too many conflicting opinions for Sega to try to listen to. It's just too much for them. It actually is too much. And honestly, unless every single Sonic fan suddenly became the same person, Sega won't know how to please anybody. They might listen to whoever has the biggest, most popular brand out there, most popular in the community or something like that. But it's kind of hard trying to please like the little guy, you know? It's just there's way too many conflicting different opinions that Sega is going to try to please, but it's just not going to work. And if they keep trying to do that, their whole brand and their franchise is going to fail. That's just what I've been thinking of, and you know, I've kind of been seeing this, and I don't think anyone's really caught up to this. I just know that I tweeted out something similar to what this discussion video was a couple weeks back, and it got a lot of good reception. So I feel like I should have made a discussion video to further explain a little bit of things. If you want, I can make it more detailed, maybe more of an analysis kind of thing. This is just kind of me talking completely unscripted. I'm just here, you know? Just trying to get something out before my next big video that I'm proud of comes out. So there's that. But anyway, guys, just tell me what you think in the comment section below. All I want is a comment. I don't care if you subscribe. I don't care if you like. All I just want to know is, what do you guys think about this? I mean, I haven't heard anybody else try to say something like this. So I think I'm probably maybe the first one. Who knows? Maybe someone else has said it, but I'd really like to get your guys' feedback on how this works and how you think that I might be right, how I might be wrong. Please, I'd love to know. Anyway, guys, I'll see you.